Thank God I found you. I was lost without you. My every wish and every dream somehow became reality. When you brought the sunlight, completed my whole life. I'm overwhelmed with gratitude, my baby. I'm so thankful I found you. Yes. Hi. Welcome to Life in Plastic Live. My name is Jared. I am a doll collector. This is Life in Plastic Live. Life in Plastic is a channel about doll collecting. We are all about dolls. We are all about doll collectors. So if you are into that, definitely stick around. It is February, you guys, the month of love. Yes. And because of that, we have a very special episode today. I'm going to have some very, very special guests on the stream. Okay. I'm going to have the spouses of my fellow doll collectors, as well as my own husband. You're going to meet my husband. So yeah, definitely stick around. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to start bringing my guests onto the stream, starting with Mr. Marvin. Hi, Marvin. How are you
Hi,
doing?
Jared. So great to see you.
Likewise. Thank you for joining us today. So I'm going to start bringing the other guests onto the stream, and then I'm going to have you guys introduce yourselves, okay?
That would be great.
So next up, we have Mr. Sean.
Hi, Jared. Hi, Marvin.
Hi, Sean.
And then we have my dear husband, Mike.
Hello, everyone.
Hi. I'm upstairs. He's downstairs in the doll room. So I don't have any dolls behind me, but he does.
They're all here.
They're all with Yes. So yeah, how's everybody doing? Well, maybe we can start by going around and introducing ourselves. So let's start with Marvin. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Marvin Brown, and I'm BB from BB's Doll Halls, a spouse. We were married about 5 years ago. And it's so happy to be here. And she was my introduction to doll collecting. And I'd have to say that it has become part of our family.
Wonderful. Yes, BB Brown's Doll Hall on Facebook Live. Definitely check that out if you haven't yet. And then next up we have Dr. Sean.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sean, partner to Willis. We met about 15 years ago, and that was my introduction to collecting dolls. You may know him as Pepper Tanglewood on social, where he has his doll accounts. And yeah, I'm excited to be here. We've been watching Jared's video content for a while. We have a habit of watching doll videos on a Saturday morning together, so I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah, I've seen Willis's Saturday morning doll posts, and it's so cool to see my stuff on there too. So thank you. And then last but certainly not least, we have my very own husband, Mike. So tell us about yourself, Mike.
I'm not a doll collector. I believe I support Jared way too much in the collection of his dolls. We've been together over 10 years. We met at the gym.
Yeah. That's what we tell everybody.
When I first met Jared, he did not have one single doll, nor a desire to have a doll. And This has all happened while we were married, and
Well,
quite a
wait,
trip.
before we were married, I started collecting,
That's true.
but most of it happened while we were married. The bulk of it.
And his collection, he has masked quite a collection. And not only is it part of our family, but it's become a lifestyle now.
It certainly has. And speaking of supportive spouses, this past week on my YouTube community tab, I posted a poll asking people this question. I said, does your partner or spouse support your hobby? And we got 93 votes as of yesterday. And more than half said yes, which is wonderful, right? 56% said yes. Somebody said no. I think that's like one person, or yeah. And then yes and no, 10%. So it's a mixed bag for some people. And then 32% said that they are single. So yeah, I wonder where everyone belongs in that spectrum. As far as like the doll collectors that I know.
Do you think they're single because they're doll collectors?
You know what? It really depends. You know, if they have a very large and intimidating collection, that may be why, right?
Listen, if we have that many single doll collectors out there, you might have a matchmaking business here, Jared.
We can. We're gonna look into that. Yeah, we're gonna have to look into that and see where it goes. Yeah, 32%. Can you believe it? My goodness. We're gonna.
Now,
have to
I'm really happy to see
doll
so
spouses.
many supportive spouses. I think that's great.
I think it's
'Cause
wonderful.
I pay attention to Willis's hobby and when he talks to other collectors, and it can be a difficult thing to get into and to own. And so I'm just so happy that so many people have supportive spouses and understand how fun the hobby can be.
Yes, it is a lot of fun. So you know what? Let's read some comments from the viewers while we're having our little chat. So let's see. I'm going to scroll all the way up and show some comments. So we have Nicole. My friend Nicole says, "Woo, I'm early and excited." Hi, Nicole. Thank you for joining us. Katrina B, so excited. Willis, your partner, says Sean has his martini, so he's ready for anything. Oh, look at that glass. Dragon glassware, ex Barbie. Cheers, says Nicole. Lady Greyheart 2012 says popcorn and Mike's Hard Lemonade here. It's Judy Ray. Yes, I remember you, Judy Ray. Of course, I know that. I knew that was you. Yes. Felicia Burr says, "Come through, Mariah." Yes, I love Mariah, obviously. Nicole says, "Woo." Dolly Joy Lisa says, "Hi from New York. Why haven't we met?" I mean, we're practically neighbors. Willis says, "Oh yeah, well, duh. I know who you are, Willis." Dolly Joy Lisa says, "Hi." Sean's doll collecting partner, Pepper _Tanglewood. Yes, another doll collector that we know and love.
For everyone.
Stephen the Jupiterian says, doll and spouses. Ooh. Interesting. My partner hates my dolls. We have something to talk about. Doll Joy Lisa says, "Hi, Marvin."
Hi.
"This is our vacation YouTube account I'm watching from," says Willis. Okay, yeah. Judy Ray says, "Hi, Marvin." We have a lot of comments. I'm just catching up on the comments. Valerie says, "Hi, guys. I skipped a few comments because there's been so many." My friend Diane Webster is watching. Hi, Diane. Yeah, so many comments. All right, I'm going to skip a few of the shorter ones and go to this one from Judy Ray. Having a supportive partner is awesome. When people ask my hubby what he thinks about the dolls, he replies, she had the dolls before she had me, so I knew what I was walking into. Boom. Yeah, somebody didn't know what they were walking into. Valerie says, have to watch the replay out toy shopping with our husband right now. Okay, enjoy. Our friend Ilana is watching. Hi, Ilana. Pamela Militello is watching. Hey guys, Mike, did he make you sit in another room?
I'm in the doll
We
room.
are in a different room. We are in different rooms. Diane says, spouses, do you guys have hobbies that you would like to share? Actually, that's one of the questions for our next segment, which I think now would be a great time to segue into that. So let's do that. So on my live streams, as well as on the regular video uploads on YouTube, I have a segment which used to be called Question of the Week. And since I haven't been doing weekly uploads on YouTube lately, I figured it was time that we just renamed that whole segment. So now we're calling it Ask Life in Plastic. Okay, because we've always used the hashtag Ask Life in Plastic for the Question of the Week segment. So I think we might as well just call it that and go with that, right? So we have some questions that I've gathered from the viewers for you guys. So the first question is from, well, you know what? Since somebody already asked if you have hobbies, let's start with that one, right? Because this was a question from Bougie Barbie Life. Do you have a hobby? You have a hobby of your own. Let's start with Marvin. Marvin.
Well, I guess it's a hobby of sorts. I do triathlons.
Triathlon.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Run, bike, and swim. And that's something that I got into before I met my wife. So that's been something that I had in my life before then. And because of the workout and training, it probably takes time away from our relationship or being with the dolls. So I guess in ways it has that some sort of same kind of feeling to it, because I could be off on a Saturday morning for a 3-hour bike ride and Sundays for a 9-mile run. And that's for a time that she would choose to be with me. So, so there are hobbies besides dolls that does take a lot of time to do.
Cool. Well, I didn't know you were into triathlons. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's fantastic. 9 miles, 9-mile run. Your wife could drive next to you in the car.
Half Ironman.
Nice.
Where it was a 13-mile run.
What was that? I'm sorry, we didn't hear.
The half Ironman is a 13-mile run and about a 1.5 mile swim and 56 miles on bike.
Wow.
Ooh.
Not too many people could do that.
I couldn't do that. So yeah,
I couldn't.
I applaud you. Marvin.
Thank you.
So what about you, Mr. Mike? Do you have any hobbies?
I collect motorcycles. I had motorcycles before Jared and I were together. I've slimmed my collection down a bit, but I still have a passion for motorcycles. Jared did when I first met him. He doesn't any longer, but that's all right.
When did I have a passion for motorcycles?
When we first met.
I mean, I liked riding on your motorcycles,
Yes.
not on my own, but you know.
Now you don't even want to ride on them anymore.
Well, you know what happened was I put on a lot of weight, and then like it got scary. Getting on the motorcycle, I'm like, how are you gonna balance this motorcycle with me on the back?
Well,
But
now
I've lost the weight
you,
again, so
now you lost weight.
forward to getting back on. Hobbies, other hobbies.
The motorcycles.
You like cars too, don't you?
Yeah, but I haven't. I don't have a car collection.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm dedicated to work. It's you know, we don't spend much time together during the week because I work quite a bit, and I guess that's sort of like a hobby because it takes time away from the relationship.
What about I can think of one other hobby of yours that you're leaving out.
Okay, which is
I know you have a lot of sneakers that you have a lot of sneakers that you sell. Is
oh
that like more of a business or?
yeah, I consider it more of a business. I have an online sneaker store on eBay. I sell
Okay.
sneakers.
Because like I think you enjoy that.
I
Otherwise,
do. Yeah, you're right. I do. Jared used to
it's kind
sell.
of both. You know, it's like a business and a hobby.
Jared used to sell quite a bit of Barbies online, um, hundreds. Which I don't know what happened the last number of years. He
I
just
lost
he
the.
just keeps them all.
I just keep. No, you know what happened? I lost my my source for buying like in bulk. I'm not able to buy the dolls in bulk anymore at low prices. So that's why. I mean, I still have my eBay account and I still sell dolls, but just dolls that were in my collection that I'm parting with. Yeah. So anyway, let's move on to Sean. Sean, tell us about your hobby or hobbies.
I'm so impressed, Marvin, and Mike as well. You know, to have a collection or to have a sport that you pursue takes passion and commitment, dedication. And for me, I appreciate that about Willis's hobby, but I have a lot of varied interests, but nothing ever sticks with me.
Well,
So I
wait
don't.
a minute. You have a hobby that has exceeded everyone's. We have to address you as doctor.
Well, yes, education.
I think that sticks more than anything anyone else here is doing.
I tell my students I like school so much I got a job there. So I went to school, and then I worked at school. So I do have a passion and a dedication. But outside of that, it's just all kind of a scattershot.
Okay. Fair enough. All right, next question. Let's see. We have. I'm gonna hide that question. The next question is from Bougie Barbie Life. What is your favorite doll in your spouse's collection? And then there's a follow-up question from Volvavoom420. What is your least favorite doll? So favorite doll and least favorite doll. So let's start with Marvin.
Oh, always get to start, huh?
Yes, you're my favorite today.
Well, the BB came home from a doll convention thing where it was selling dolls, and came home with this box, and in this box were all of these, just a pile of dolls in the box and parts, and she brought it and put it in her bedroom. Actually, it was right next to my bed, so I woke up, and in the that box was a dummy, which is the Charlie McCarthy ventriloquist thing, and I would have to admit that he's probably my least favorite But more from a standpoint that growing up, I have to admit that growing up as a child, I used to watch Charlie McCarthy on TV and listen to him. And I have to admit that maybe he reminds me of that I'm growing old because he's in that genre. And but then one of my favorites, I have these pictures because our dolls are being packed away because we're moving, is this this doll that is probably about 36 inches tall. And she's just so lifelike. She's normally in our kitchen, and I say good morning to her every morning and evening. And she just reminds me of a child that is just lovingly in her home. So those are two of.
So yeah, those are your favorite and least favorite. I have to say, I am frightened of dummies. So that would probably be my least favorite of VB's collection as well.
Yeah.
All right. So what about you, Sean? Tell us about your favorite from Willis.
I have permission to get this one out, so give me a second.
Okay. You have
My
a second.
favorite. This is a doll that we got at the first doll convention we ever went to, and it's I actually won her at our table. It's a one-of-a-kind Stella, and Willis had been wanting a Stella for a long time. It's a Robert Tonner from the Tyler Wentworth line, and it was the Tyler Wentworth 25th anniversary convention, and it was held right here in Columbus, Ohio, so that was cool. And we were at table 19. We had a really nice time with everybody, and at the end of the convention, they brought out all of these one-of-a-kind dolls, and ours was by far the one at our table was the best. So I really wanted to get this for Willis, and I was able to get it for him. And she's great. I mean, I think they painted her face at the Tonner Doll Company, right? Mm-hmm. And did the rooting and everything. Yeah. So she's a really unique one of a kind, and a really special memory of that fun convention. And that was the first the dolls that Willis was collecting when I met him were Tyler Wentworth. So those are always kind of my favorite line too. So yeah, this one's my favorite. Beautiful. And then the least favorite, I have permission to share as well. This is a little controversial, but this, you may recognize this Netta Porter, Jason Wu collaboration. Mm-hmm. You know, it's kind of a pain to get a hold of them, and you have to get up at 3 a.m. and, you know, make the order and everything. And I like Jason Wu, but he's not my favorite aesthetic. And of course, Integrity is an incredible doll company. The quality is just off the charts. But, you know, she's in a ball gown, and she's got her shoe boxes and her shopping bags. And to me, she's just always somehow gone out to the shop and purchased a bunch of accessories in a ball gown. And I'm just like, what happened? But she's very pretty. It was just that promo picture. And Willis has corrected me. She's being styled, perhaps by Jason himself, and these are her shoes to choose from before she goes out on the red carpet and all that good stuff. So, yet still, it's really hard. Willis is a very discerning doll collector, so there's actually not a lot that I don't like in his collection. But I picked on her because I always make fun of her carrying those bags around in her ball gown.
Okay.
That's my story.
Good one. That was a good one. All right. What about you, Mike?
My favorite is the Barbie Usherette, which I have here. And I just, you know, to see her in the fishnet stockings and something that's so nostalgic as Barbie is. And to think people went to the movies years ago and there would be an usher or usherette to take them to their seat. It's just amazing to me. that they even made a doll like this, and that they don't continue to make dolls like this. And what happened to her flashlight? Didn't she have a flashlight?
She has a. I put it away. She has a flashlight and some movie tickets, and also that is not the usherette doll. That's a different doll. I put the uniform on a different doll.
Oh, well,
But that is the uniform that you like. So
yes, and it's definitely a silkstone. It's very heavy.
it's a silkstone. Yes.
Yes, and I just love this doll. I just think it stands for so many things that we don't have anymore or see anymore, including Barbies like this. I don't see too many Barbies like this anymore. And I just love her. I think it's great. It's America. And there she is. I wish she had the flashlight and the tickets, but that's all right.
That's somewhere in the house. Don't worry. It'll turn up. No, I put it away.
And another Barbie that I really like, I don't particularly care for the doll itself, the hair, but the whole concept. This Barbie from the Met Gala, I just think the whole concept is incredible. Jared brought this to convention one year. I don't remember which convention it was, but I remember him asking Robert Best to sign it. And Mr. Best said to him, "Boy, I have a lot of friends that would love to have that doll." And that's when I realized, I said, this is really, really special for someone from Mattel to say they have friends that would love to have this. I don't like her hair, though. I don't care for the
That's what it
packaging.
is.
But the whole concept to me that at the gala is just incredible. And Jared had it signed by the designer and Robert Best. And that's another one of my favorites. I don't know if I should show my least favorite. I hate to get hate mail or Jared to get but all of these dolls I simply do not care for. I can appreciate the accessories. I get it. The accessories are much better than anything Mattel has made. But the doll itself, to me, looks like a toy.
Well, it is a toy.
Well, you know, and to me, a Barbie is even the Playline Barbies. To me, they're very collectible. They're very American. And these, like I said, I just can't appreciate them. These Rainbow High dolls. I understand what Jared's saying. The accessories are beautiful. They're better made. They're very detailed. I get it. But the big head, I'm not 4 years old. I don't have to get drawn in by big eyes and bright plastic hair. Please, no hate mail. I'm just
Don't send him hate mail.
You're really opening yourself up for it, Mike. Those Rainbow High, you know, they're just so iconic from a collector's point of view. Like Willis doesn't even collect that many, but I took him out and was like, we're getting every one of these series 2 dolls. I made him buy them because I was just like, just leave them in the box. They're so, for a Playline doll especially, they're just iconic. They're hard to resist. And the quality is off the charts.
The quality
Yes.
is off the charts.
Yes, Jared has showed me the accessories. I can appreciate the stitching and the snaps on a little handbag and the little buttons, and I get all that. But the doll itself, I just don't care for.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Yes, fair enough. All right, let's move on to the next question, which is, do you ever feel like collecting some dolls as well? This is from Mim8945. You ever feel like collecting some dolls as well? Let's start with Mike.
No, I believe we have enough dolls, and there's a few dolls in Jared's collection that I've grown attached to, and I think that's enough for me. His integrity dolls, I think they're beautiful. I appreciate what they are, but they just don't have the history like a Barbie doll. They just don't have, Mattel and this real old school memorabilia that just generation after generation has played with and loved. And from collecting motorcycles, to have different Harley Davidsons and have different BMW motorcycles, I feel Integrity dolls are like a BMW motorcycle. They're much better. They just don't have the history there or the nostalgia there.
Good point.
As a Harley Davidson. Even though it's better, it's just not as collectible. It's not as desirable. And no hate mail on that either, because
Oh my God, you're just like really getting
are
into
beautiful,
it,
and I believe they're better than Barbies, but I don't think they don't have history. You have Barbie has generations, and you have over 5 generations of history with a Barbie doll, and I think nothing can compare to that.
Now, I love hearing this, that Mike, you've got strong opinions about collecting, and you really pay attention to this collection. I like that, because I'm kind of like that too. I have opinions about the collection, even though I don't really desire to own any for myself. I wonder if other people out there have partners who have opinions about what they collect, even if they're not collectors. Marvin, what do you have a collection of your own?
Well, I don't. I have to admit, and hopefully I won't get the hate mail either. That times the Barbies all look alike to me. People ask me, well, which one do you like? And I says, I have to admit, they have a very similar face, and I can't tell the difference. And that's actually one of the ways that I distinguish that this was BB's passion, was that she can see the difference, all the minute details and stuff like that. And American Girls, dolls look the same unless they have their clothes accessories with them. They look the same to me. So I haven't had that passion to have a collection of my own, even though we have a number of them that are in the house. They're still BBs, and I get to look at them and enjoy the collection.
Nice. So Sean, you haven't answered the question. Do you ever feel like collecting dolls?
Well, that's a really good point. I really like looking at the dolls, and I did fall in love with Robert Tonner. I really think of him as an artist and a sculptor. I love the differences in the sculpts. That was the first time that I learned that you could tell dolls apart. Was when Willis was showing me his Tyler Wentworth collection. So, and I kind of agree about Barbie. It's harder for me to tune in to Barbie. I understand the provenance of Mattel. It's really impressive. But my main thing is I just don't want to own a bunch of stuff and have to take care of it and put it in boxes and take it out of boxes. So yeah, I'm not on the road to collecting. I have a couple Dia de Muertos dolls, because I just think those Barbies are so interesting, and it's such an interesting moment to sort of do that cultural tradition. So I think those are interesting, and Willis has gotten me a couple like drag queen dolls here and there. So they're around. What's that?
You're getting Trixie?
He's getting Trixie for sure. But there's a little plushie of Juno Birch and then her friend Licorice Black. I have those little plushies. So I've got little things here and there, but definitely not a collection.
Okay. All righty. So before we move on to the next question, I think we're going to read some comments from the viewers, because we kind of have been just carrying on this conversation and not paying attention to the comments. So let's see what we got. Okay. Let's show. Okay. Judy Ray says, I think the doll is Highland Fling. You are correct. The doll that is wearing the usherette uniform is Highland Fling. You have an eye for this. Ha ha ha, says Daniela. I'm in agreement, but different strokes for different folks. My fiance favorite is Marnie Son of Fonte, but he hates Rainbow High. I don't know. I love the accessories and furniture from Rainbow High. The Rainbow High dolls are not really my cup of tea either, says Judy Ray.
Oh, thank you. I thought I was the only one.
Aljoy Lisa says they're affordable. That's true. The Rainbow High dolls are very affordable compared to some of the other dolls that I collect.
Yes.
Okay, and then Nicole says, oh boy, Mike, how can you not like Rainbow High? Steven says, I can't stand the Bratz dolls. I never will never get one. I have never and will never get one. Felicia Burris, LOL.
We don't have Bratz in this house either. Somehow.
I don't have Bratz either. But we don't hate them. I like Bratz, but was never into them like Barbie, says Felicia. Dolls Rescued. I think Mike just admitted he collects Rainbow High dolls. Had to have them all. Pamela says, there will be a Met Gala Moschino Barbie in the raffle room at the convention this summer. I'm stuffing all my tickets in there. Yes, the Barbie convention. See you there. Whoever's going. Diane says, it's okay you don't like Rainbow High. There's so many different kinds of dolls, and even doll collectors like certain kinds of dolls too. Yes, very true. JG says, see, this is why I have integrity bodies with Barbie heads wearing Rainbow High clothes. There you go. Steven says, my partner likes outdoor activities. You would think that my partner, who is a hairstylist, would like Barbie, but he doesn't. Okay. This is Judy Ray. She says, my hubby collects Batman, DC Comics figures, a little bit of Marvel, Star Wars, and Star Trek. I got him the vintage face Batman, Catwoman, and Ben Affleck Batman dolls. Oh, yes, I remember those. Those are so cute. Yes. Wanda Bridget says, I am a Blythe artist and Blythe collector. They are my favorite. Blythe dolls are so lovely. I'm trying not to collect another line of dolls, but yeah, Blythe is so pretty.
Yeah, I love Blythe.
Blythe is very pretty, isn't it?
Yeah.
Diane says, I don't like Bratz because of the big feet, so I don't have any either. Fair.
I didn't know they had big feet.
Yeah, they do. They have big feet. They have big lips. They have big heads too, right? They just have all these exaggerated features. They're cute, but they're not for me. That's all. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, I guess
I won't get the hate mail either.
I guess that's
I know there are some very passionate Bratz collectors out there. So we love everybody, as Mariah would say. All right, so let's get back to the questions. Let's see. Do you ever feel like collecting? Do you have a hobby? We've gone through these questions. Let's talk about this one. So this seems like a question for me, the way that it's phrased, right? It says, when do you reveal to a partner that you are a doll collector, and what was their first reaction? So maybe we're going to just turn this question around a little bit, and make it a question for you guys. So when did your partner reveal to you that they are a doll collector, and what was your first reaction? Let's start with Sean.
Sure. I think it was pretty early, like, date 3 or 4 whenever I came over, and it was, you know, he did a nice job of revealing it. I think you fixed me a drink and took me into
cocktails,
your display room and said, I want to share this. And, you know, and it was, at that time, he had a very focused Tyler Wentworth collection. There were just 10 dolls, 10 different sculpts, maybe not even 10. And I thought they were beautiful right away and impressive. And I recognized that quality of, you know, passion and expertise that goes along with having a hobby and a collection. So, hello. So that was a real, you know, that really kind of, I thought it was great that he had the collection at the time. And he introduced me to the Tonner Doll Company, and Robert Tonner is an artist. And at the time, their motto was believe in the power of play. And that just made perfect sense to me right away. In fact, it was a little bit of a revelation. I was like, oh my gosh, yes, play is so important. You know, of course, I study literature, so I'm just like, we read things that we enjoy. So you should have a hobby that you like. And adult fashion dolls that you can play with was not even on my radar at the time. So to see those and to experience that, it was a kind of a it was something very attractive to me at the time. Yeah, and he introduced it early on. I wonder, you know, he had collected Playline Barbies in the past, and I wonder if you had shown me like a big tub of Playline Barbies, if I would have felt the same way.
Rather than Tyler Wentworth.
But at the time, it was, you know, lots of really nice, classy Tyler Wentworths, and I was like, wow.
All right, lovely. That's a nice story. What about you, Marvin? When did BB tell you that she was into dolls?
Well, actually, after we were married, we had this thing where all of a sudden she started coming home with dolls. And I can't say when it was that I put together the 2 and 2 saying that she collects dolls, but they just kept on growing and growing and growing in our house. And she'd spend time at the doll museum where she could have fun with the dolls, but then she'd come home with a doll. And then she'd have these meetings with people in parking lots and dinners, and come home with a doll and a doll bed or something. And got the feeling that she was into this doll collecting, and they just kept on growing. So you know, but at the same time, I had to recognize the enjoyment that she had from doing it, and it was infectious. And I could enjoy the hunt with her as she would look for these dolls and look for them at a economic price. So she was very frugal at this, and is, and I just enjoyed the hunt. We'd go out for dinner, and after we go out for dinner, oh, by the way, there's a American Girl store down here I want to stop in at. So they just become part of our life. And I'm I have great gratitude for her for bringing that into our lives.
Lovely. Lovely. Thank you for sharing.
Sure.
All right, Mike, when did I tell you that I was buying dolls, and what was your first reaction?
Well, I don't think you ever told me.
Here's the thing, though. I started buying dolls in 2011, so that was like 2 years after we met.
I think it just all happened. You never told me you were buying dolls.
Mm-hmm.
And
So how did you figure it out?
I think when we moved into the house, we had closets built downstairs for you to put your dolls in. And then you wanted to buy 2 display cabinets for downstairs
Mm-hmm.
in the basement by the doll closets. And we bought 2 display cabinets.
Mm-hmm.
And then now we have 10 display cabinets. And the last conversation about display cabinets were, do you think I could squeeze another one over here? And I'm like, I don't think so. So I don't know. And I think your collection maxed out. You were kind of like, oh, I have so many wonderful Barbies and a few Integrities. And then Rainbow High came out. And maybe that's part of the reason why I don't like Rainbow High. I have to ask my psychiatrist. It may not be the doll or the big head. It may just be like it's just masked a new collection for you.
Okay, that's fair.
And I have to say, we do have doll rules in this house. The rules are Jared could have the ground level, the whole basement. It's quite large for his dolls, but please don't make a Barbie house. And I have to say, Jared has stuck to the rules. I never thought he would have this many dolls, but we don't have a dollhouse. They're not in the living room or the dining room or in any of the bedrooms or the offices. And thank you for that, buddy.
You got it.
And, like I've always said, you could do anything you want down here. And
Wonderful.
I'd love to turn the camera, but I don't want to.
Yeah, don't upset the setup. People have seen my doll room. There's a doll room tour video on YouTube. So.
And Jared has quite a number of drawings by several designers and dolls. And like I said, it's very beautiful down here. I wish there were Barbies behind me, but that's all right. We have the Rainbow High dollhouse and Rainbow High jacuzzi and palm trees, and sun umbrellas, and
well, the dollhouse has custom lighting. Somebody put custom lighting in there, and it's a very nice job.
Lights in there. And,
thank you for that, by the way. Okay, so before we move on to the next question, let's read some more comments. Let's read some more comments. Pamela says, Sean, I'm going to need you to talk to my hubby. Okay. Nicole says, oh my God, cutest doggy ever. Yes, this is Miss Gretchen. She started whimpering a little bit, so I picked her up. Yeah, she just needs some attention. That's all. Pam, is he coming to NBDCC, National Barbie Doll Collectors Convention? Sean can pull your hubby aside and have the talk. I don't think he is, because she doesn't want him there. From what I understand. Okay, Wanda says, yes, I keep my blythes in my doll room. Me and my husband have that rule too, and it really works. Yes, it does. Nicole says, I love Jared's doll room. Oh, thank you. Diane says, Mike, I started collecting Disney Animators collection dolls after I ran out of other dolls. I think it doesn't end in a way.
Oh, boy.
Those Disney dolls are nice.
I'm sure they are.
Danielle says, my husband has a lot of music instruments, and then there is me with my dolls. Not a huge collection. We currently share a room with our collections, but space is a problem sometimes. Yes, space can be a problem. I'm running into that problem already. Okay, Judy Ray says, my doll room is in the living room. The doll room is the biggest room in the house. I have been downsizing for years and finally have everything in one room and one closet. It wasn't always that way.
Well,
That's nice.
congratulations.
Yes, it's good to be
Overall, I'm sure you
organized.
feel better, and everyone
Good
else
to be organized.
was.
And then Lion Queen 106, hello, welcome back. I remember you from the live stream with Jeffrey, the doll daddy. My girlfriend and I don't live together yet, but they know I collect dolls already. That's good. That's a good start. Yes. Damien says, which, if any, doll is your spouse's favorite? They already showed their favorites, so you're going to have to like watch the replay of this live stream, Damien. They showed their favorites earlier.
What about your favorite?
Oh, which, if any, doll? Oh, Oh, I get the question now. I get the question. I'm sorry. Which, if any, doll is your spouse's favorite? So, do you know my favorite doll, Mike?
Oh,
you don't have to show it, but do you know it?
I should know this. I don't know it.
Wah, wah. Sean, do you know Willis's favorite?
You know, yes, and he's pulling it out.
It's a tie.
You have to go with Willis. You have to go with the nostalgia. So this I know is his sort of, I think, favorite superstar Barbie, right? Yeah.
Wait a minute. I think I might know.
Okay.
Is it the doll that the hand fell off of that time?
Doll that the hand fell off? What do you?
And you were like freaking out because the cord.
Oh, Pigeon. Well, Pigeon is like really special, but she's not my favorite. But that's a good guess.
Okay.
I was gonna think that, but doll collectors are so sentimental. It's probably. What is your favorite, Jared?
My favorite changes all the time, but like for the longest time, my favorite was actually Proudly Pink Barbie. Yeah. Just because I'm obsessed with her pink hair and yeah.
Marvin, you know BB's
Marvin,
favorite?
do you know BB's favorite?
Well, there are two. One is she has another Bisque doll that she calls Penelope. But I have to say that she's probably a good doll mom because they're all her favorites, which is why it's so hard to part with any of them and why we keep adding rooms to the house. Because they're, she says, oh, this is my favorite. And then the next, she turns around to another doll and, oh, this is my favorite. But she loves the Bisque, and there's a new doll that's coming into her life this next week. And as usual, I'm sure it's going to be her favorite too.
Nice.
On this topic of doll houses, Marvin, are you all basically moving into a big doll house? Basically,
yeah. It's an old Victorian, and there's going to be, I imagine, dolls all over the place. It's twice the size of our house now, so there's plenty of room for the dolls. When we talked about what we were going to have in each room, there's a lot of dolls.
Nice. Okay, let's read some more comments. Diane says, all of my collector dolls are in my closet. There's no room for any clothes in there. She also says, it's the Silkstone big white dress with the embroidery and the Dark Integrity Toys one too. She knows my favorites. Diane knows my favorites. Yes. Those are also my favorites. JG says, I'll guess the last one he bought. That's a pretty good guess. Pamela says, yes, Willis, perfect favorite.
Pamela Superstar.
Okay. And then Dolljoy Lisa says, my favorite is my BJD by Anna Salvador and a custom blind I have by CF Dolls. Wonderful, wonderful. I would love to see them, actually. Diane says, Marvin, I want to meet your wife in parking lots and be her friend. Wonderful. Okay. All right. And then let's go back to the questions that were submitted earlier. Let's see. Oh, this is a good question. It says, this is a question from Diamonds and Daisies. Is there a limit you would like to see in the collection? Is the limit the amount of space, the amount of money spent, or the amount of time devoted to the collection? Let's start with Marvin.
Well, it's from my aspect of it, $1 is enough. I have my tiny pockets that are next to my bed. And that is all the limit that I need. But I enjoy the collection that BB brings into our life, and so we really don't have a limit. We're getting a new house that has twice the square feet of our current one, so that we can have more dolls. And I don't think there can ever be too many dolls.
Something I'd like to hear.
That's awesome, Marvin. I agree with you. It's fun to participate with your partner in their hobby. I mean, I'm happy to follow, the hobby where it goes. So I think that's cool.
So, okay, Sean, is there a limit though?
No. I would never put a limit on Willis's hobby and his enjoyment of it, but I do understand that you can do things in unhealthy ways, or in ways that limit your space or money or time or things like that. So I'm lucky that we haven't run into that too much, because he doesn't buy a whole lot. He doesn't collect a ton at a time. So that's good. But if you wanted to go whole hog with it, I would say, go for it. And we'll just have to, cross the bridge when he comes to it. I don't know if I would follow him to a Victorian mansion for it, but maybe.
Oh my goodness.
I want to be very supportive, but I also understand, it's nice that it's all in this room. But it is.
Yeah, it's on it.
All right. Well, Mike, is there a limit?
You've always abide by the rules that downstairs would be the Barbie room, and you've never broken that rule.
Mm-hmm.
However, I do believe that your collection now is kind of crammed.
Fair enough.
And the space is quite large.
So here, let me tell you what I plan to do though about that. I agree with you. It is getting a little crowded in there. We are going to the Barbie convention in July, and my plan is to do a big purge of my collection. When we go to the convention, I'm going to be selling dolls out of my room, our room.
Oh, I'm going to have my own room, but go ahead.
Okay. So I'm going to sell dolls out of our room. I plan on bringing a lot of dolls with me to the convention, just so that we can kind of, reconfigure the doll room and make room.
I'm not asking you or telling you to get rid of any dolls. I'm just
No. I know you're not.
I just think your display cabinets are a little too full.
This is something that I have decided to do.
Okay.
on my own.
And I have to appreciate the fact that coming downstairs, there's a place for everything. There's no boxes of dolls on the floor. There's no boxes of dolls behind a couch. Everything has a place. And I have to say, it makes the doll room enjoyable for me. You know,
Yes.
see that there's a place and it's nice. It makes it nice. And I think for you to show it off to everyone makes it nice. That's
Yes.
all. I don't want to, get into a whole personal thing.
It is nice.
Okay.
Willis will get rid of. Well, he'll do a purge every once in a while. And they'll be like, because if you're going to sell it on eBay, you might as well like sell it all at once. If you're getting all the packaging out, so that'll happen. But it's funny. We talk about crowded display cabinets and stuff, but I feel like his display cabinets could be more crowded. I'm always thinking you can put dolls behind other dolls and it looks okay.
Yeah.
It looks like a crowded elevator.
He's scared of this crowded elevator idea, and I'm just like, sometimes you just need more dolls.
Yeah, COVID's going away. They won't get sick.
Oh my goodness. Okay. All right, let's read some more comments before we move on to the next question. All right. Willis says, I don't think there can ever be too many dolls. Marvin, a true genius. Yes. Lion Queen 106 says, my girlfriend and I have talked somewhat about this. If there was a limit, it would be on the money spent on the dolls, which I agree, expenses first, then dolls.
Well, let me stop you right there. I have to admit, I don't pay attention to the money that's spent on dolls overall. And I don't even want to know how much money has been spent on dolls.
Okay.
It would
blow your mind.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of have an idea because you bought me all those Integrity dolls for the convention.
I did?
So, yes, you did. You bought like, remember you pre-ordered the entire convention collection for me, which was nice.
Stuff like that I just block out and I just put it as like a housing expense.
Housing expense, nice. Nicole says, I think as long as you have enough money for necessities in life, you can spend as much as you want on dolls, but never put buying dolls before your own needs like food or things you need to live. Yes. JG says, sometimes the less is more mentality crosses my mind. Diane says, no, Jared, keep your collection. Don't worry. Don't worry, Diane. There are so many. You won't even notice that I sold a whole bunch of dolls. Trust me. I have so many dolls that are in storage that I have not seen in months or years. So I think it's about time that I actually went through those dolls and just, made some hard choices. Dolljoy Lisa says she's raising her hand for my doll purge. Wonderful. Steven says COVID doesn't exist in my Barbie world. That's nice. Yes, they are an escape, so they don't have to get COVID. JG says another possible solution is to have more of a rotation on which you display at a given time. That's what I'm trying to do now. I get overwhelmed though, like yeah, I like the idea of rotating the displays. It's just that also takes time and effort to take out a doll and dress the doll and make sure it's in good condition and then display it properly. It takes time, it takes effort, and with the collection the size of my collection at this point in time. It's just so much work. I'd rather just do a little, little purge. Wanda Bridget says, I have a rule. I buy one and get rid of one. That's a good rule to have. Unfortunately, it's very difficult for me to abide by that rule. JG says, tax write-off. Well, can they be a tax write-off? I don't know.
Trump took all the write-offs away.
Yeah, that's true. Let's
I
not
don't
get into.
I don't want to get political, but we have no more write-offs.
No more write-offs. That's true. Willis says, I do a heavy purge every 2 to 3 years. Feels great. I cannot wait to feel that feeling. I'm really looking forward to this purge. Just because, yeah, I'll feel better. I think I will feel better if I do get rid of a few dolls. Not to mention the money would be nice too. Some extra money, right?
For more dolls.
For more dolls. Cycle. It's a cycle.
Or a long overdue.
Circle of dolls. Judy Ray says, I started downsizing to pay for a BarbieCon. As I made more room, I found myself enjoying the dolls I truly loved. I do the 1 in, 1 out with new dolls. 1 in, 1 out. There you go. Diane says, rotation would be hard to do with out-of-the-box dolls. That is true. That's what I've been saying. Like, it's just a lot of work. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. The next question is, okay, and I think this is the last question that I got from that I got in advance from the viewers. So if the viewers have some more questions that you want us to answer, now would be the time to put those in the comments. Okay, because yeah, this is the last question that I got in advance of the stream. So the question is from Valerie, my Stitch in Dollyverse. Valerie asks, do you know your spouse's collection's worth? Not the cost, but how much the collection is worth at this point in time. Okay, and I'm gonna, you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put Mike on the spot here. Mike.
I try not to think about it. I know there's a lot of $100 dolls here. I would have to say just south of 20,000, the worth.
I don't know. I haven't really given it that kind of thought.
I haven't either. I'm just giving a quick count of $100 dolls. That's all.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's you're getting warm.
20,000. It's probably much more. I just don't even want to know about it.
You know, there are, like, I would say 100 is a good average. Yeah. Because the integrity dolls, they are, you know, on average, they were purchased.
Oh, I don't want to hear it.
Okay. You don't have to hear it. But the integrity dolls cost more than Barbie. And the integrity dolls on the secondary market, a lot of them tend to appreciate in value. Just because they're very limited and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So I think that's a fair estimate. What about you? Let's put Sean on the spot.
I don't know what Willis has spent on his collection, but I do know its value, and that is it's priceless.
Wow.
And underinsured.
What a gentleman.
And underinsured. Oh, my collection is also underinsured. I'm gonna have to fix that. Yeah. Okay. And then last but certainly not least, we have Marvin. I'm gonna put you on the spot and then you can answer the question. So Marvin, do you know BB's collection's worth?
Well, I also agree that they're priceless. And it's an interesting position because this last couple of weeks, trying to get insurance for our house. And one of the questions is, well, what is the cost of the contents of the house? And I don't even think about it because most of the dolls BB purchases, and whether they're for collections or whether it's for dolls that we're selling, it all goes into the same pot. And but it is priceless from the standpoint of the joy that I know that she gets from buying them, and my joy that I get from observing being happy. And I think that that's the thing that we've come across today as spouses that we've shared, that we're here to support our spouses, and because of the joy that it brings. So I really have no desire to try to figure out what the value of our dolls is, other than the fact that our world is saying they need to be insured, and as probably underinsured as all the others.
Right. Oh, what happened to Mike? What? Did he just go on a bathroom break? What happened?
He's running down the street.
I gotta get away from this doll collection. All right, let's read some comments. See if anybody has other questions for us. Okay, I'm gonna remove him from the stream for now. And we'll just change the layout. Okay. When he comes back, I'll put him back on. So let's read some comments. Okay. Damien says, I think the best option is a bigger house. Well, that's BB's option that she's taking. We'll see what happens. See, Mike isn't here, so I wish he were here and he could see your comment. We'll have to have that discussion.
When we talk about moving, though, we do have to factor in a doll room now, which is very interesting.
Yeah, that's an interesting conversation to have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We want that basement that you have. You've got that great setup, Jared. We love that.
Yeah, wonderful. Oh, he's back. Okay, I'm going to add him back.
One of the Barbies fell over. I had to pick her up.
No, it did not.
A jumper.
Stop. Okay. So did you see this, Mike? I think the best option is a bigger house.
Mm. Well, if we didn't spend so much on dolls, that would be possible.
Okay. Fair enough. Let's see. Wanda Bridges says, do you insurance your collection? Right now I don't have a separate policy just for the dolls, but now that I think about it, I probably should. Right? What about you guys, Sean and Willis and BB?
The last I checked, they said that we should do a separate policy, but I haven't opened the email with that information in it. So yeah, we need to get behind
I think
it.
we're gonna have to do it, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think in our situation, they're either going to pay for the dolls or the furniture.
Ooh, they're gonna have to pay for the dolls then.
I don't think they're going to care. It's just contents. And it's
Right.
not going to
right.
cover everything.
Well, I think the dolls cost more than the furniture at this point.
Well,
So.
And can you get them to pay for the labor of going out and finding and replacing them? Because that's a lot of work. It's not even just the money.
Okay, Noemi has joined us. Noemi is here. She says, "Hi, sweeties." Hi, Noemi. So lovely of you to join us. Noemi has a question for handsome Jared husband. Do you have a favorite line of dolls? Do you have a favorite line of dolls? I think we're going to have everyone answer that question.
The Silkstones.
Okay, that's a good choice.
I really thought the choices of gowns and accessories and the weight of the doll and overall is just very, very nice.
Marvin, do you have a favorite line?
I do have to say that I do favor the German bisque dolls that are around.
Lovely. And Sean, do you have a
Of
favorite?
course, the classic Tyler Wentworth is my favorite. The first doll I was ever introduced to.
Nice, nice.
And
Okay.
also, can I add a second?
Mm-hmm.
The fashion dolls that you used to buy at Target.
The Barbie basics.
I just thought for the price, they were so inexpensive. They were beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean they're trying to bring them back with those Barbie looks dolls, but I don't know. It's just it's not the same.
You are absolutely right, Mike. And what's funny is when Willis and I were first dating, he would look at those in the Target aisle, and I was like, "What's he doing in this Target aisle?" And he didn't buy them. And now I'm just like, I wish you would have bought those. Those were those Barbie basics.
Probably like the biggest bang for the buck. They were beautiful dolls. They were very inexpensive. They were simple. I see Jared did a lot with them. He would kind of change the clothes and
I embroidered some of the dresses with beads.
Yeah, they were great for people starting collections because they were kind of inexpensive, and it probably drew a lot of people and older people into Barbie that started collecting because
you got a good eye, Mike.
He does. All right, Lion Queen has a question for everyone. What is your favorite Rainbow High doll?
Is there any without plastic hair? Oh, no. Let's see. My favorite one?
You don't have to pull it out.
No, I'm not going to pull it out. I'm just giving a quick glance. I guess the cheerleader ones are kind of cute if I was 4 years old. I don't know. Oh, the band. I see you have one with a set of drums.
Yeah.
And a striped.
That's a good choice. That's Vanessa.
Coat. Yeah. Those are nice.
Okay, the band.
Yes.
What about you, Sean?
The twins. Just because they were the ones that really made it click for me. I was like, oh, they're doing something here. I should pay attention to this. So, they're not the best and most detailed, but I like the twins.
I like the twins as characters on the show.
Mm-hmm.
The dolls are not my favorite, but the characters, I think they're just hilarious. So I love the twins.
Yeah. Jared forces me to watch the show, and I don't like it, but I have to say it is kind of.
It's pretty good for what it is.
Yeah, for what it is, it's pretty interesting.
And Marvin, does BB have any Rainbow High?
She might have one or two, but I can't say that I have seen very many.
Okay, that's fair. Fair enough.
Most of ours are not unboxed, but Willis took her out and gave her a little makeover.
She looks great.
Skylar, who is it?
No, that's Crystal.
It's Crystal.
She's wearing
and she's wearing the yellow ones. I like these. See, these are just so.
I love those
detailed.
pants. Those
Yeah,
details, yeah.
And I washed her hair out.
yeah. She's pretty.
Yeah. All right. And since we have Pam and Noemi here, I think this would be a good time for me to just say a quick thank you to them, right? Because Pam and Noemi are my elite members of Life in Plastic. So they've been supporting the channel in many ways, and I'm very grateful. So thank you, Pam and Noemi. All right. How about that?
Yes.
Yes. I hope they're still around and they saw that. Yeah. Thank you so much, Pam and Noemi. By the way, if you are interested in becoming a member of Life in Plastic, all you have to do is click on the join button that is supposed to be next to the subscribe button on YouTube. So if you click on that join button, there's going to be a video that will play of me explaining all of the perks of becoming a member of Life in Plastic. And I hope you'll consider joining the family of Life in Plastic members because we do have a lot of fun on this channel. I know Willis is a member, and yeah, I'm super grateful to everyone who's a member. Stephen is a member. Stephen, who's in the chat. Yeah. So thank you, everybody. Oh, we have another friend of mine who's in the chat. Light to the Core says hello. Hope you are doing well. Yes, we're doing great. Light to the Core also has a YouTube channel, and he and I had collaborated on. We did a live stream together where we talked about our top 10 favorite rainbow high dolls. So I think he and I are going to have to do like an updated version of that or something at some point later this year, because there are so many more rainbow high dolls that are coming out. So yeah, we're going to have to like do that. Diane says, Marvin, for larger dolls, I collect Aria's dolls. I don't know what those are. Aria's dolls. And then Steven says, thank you, Jared. My partner and I will have a chat about my growing collection soon. Yes, have that chat. You got to have that chat. All right. So we've had a pretty nice conversation here. We are approaching the hour and a half mark pretty quickly. And I think that we've covered a lot of ground here. What do you guys think?
Yeah, thanks so much, Jared. This has been fun.
Are you choking on your beer or something?
Yeah, there's no cough button.
The what?
Usually there's a cough button on the desk, but
Oh, okay.
we're not at NBC. I'm sorry.
All right. Yeah, we're not at NBC. That is right. Yeah, it's been a fun stream. We're getting some more comments. Let's see. Damien says, do any of you wish your partner was more supportive? Oh, I think he's talking to the other people in the chat. Do any of you wish your partner was more supportive? Yeah, that's a good question. Nicole says, this has been such a fun stream. I appreciate and loved everyone's stories. Thank you, Nicole, for joining us. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. I think that we're going to wrap things up, right? We've had a fun conversation for over an hour, and it's been very enlightening. And I want to thank all of the viewers for tuning in. And of course, all the members of Life in Plastic for joining us today. Pam, Noemi, Stephen, Willis. Before we end the stream, are your spouses around?
You're on, Willis.
Can we see them
Maybe
before we end the stream? Just say hi. This is my whole family here. Mike, and we have Miss Gretchen. Miss Gretchen, the baby. All right, let's see the spouses. Let's see the spouses.
Maybe it's coming.
We're trying with the cords. There he is.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, BB.
Fam, fam.
Hi.
All the three
We have another one.
collectors.
So lovely to see you.
Vicky, come on. Get Zeke on your lap. Get Zeke.
Thanks, Jared. This has been so fun. Marvin and Mike, it's been really fun.
It's
Yeah.
been
These
so
are
fun
ours.
talking to you guys. Look at that. Look at those
Oh,
love.
Great
wow.
show, Jared. Great show. I couldn't comment, but it was great. Yeah. Super fun.
Oh my gosh,
So
that dog is cute.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us today. I really appreciate Marvin, Sean, and Mike for coming on, and of course Willis and BB for sharing their spouses with us. And
It was a great tell-all. It was very. I got a lot of.
all right, everybody, take care. Stay safe. It's been a
All
great
right,
show.
thank
Stay
you.
safe, everybody.
Have a good afternoon.
Bye.
Great afternoon. We'll see you soon.
Everyone have a
Bye.
great weekend.
everyone.
Stay safe.